If you're considering switching over to eXp Realty, like a lot of other agents are doing, you have to make sure that you do your due diligence and make sure that you choose the right sponsor the first time. Choosing the right sponsor is so important. A lot of agents actually regret choosing the sponsor that they did and joining the upline that they did, and I do not want you to be in that position. Let's help you avoid that. That's the purpose of this video. There should be no reason for you to feel alone or isolated or feel like your business has plateaued or you feel stuck, like you can't ramp up when you're in the right group. With eXp, there is an option to join without a sponsor, but there is no benefit to you doing that. On the contrary, joining the right sponsor will open you up to a ton of advantages. You should be given free resources, free training, free coaching of what your sponsor offers and what their sponsor offers, all the way 7 levels up. That's exactly why eXp is such a beneficial model. In this video, I can't possibly cover everything because there are so many different topics to talk about and because we offer so much. So if there's a topic that I don't cover in this video that you want to talk about, schedule a call with me. My Calendly link is below in the description. I'm more than happy to talk to you one-on-one and do a deep dive into your business, have that call be all about you and the topics that you're interested in. Each agent that I speak to is usually interested in something specific to them. So whether it's lead generation specifically on open houses or social media or YouTube, or recruiting for revenue share, or the stocks that you get with eXp, the healthcare, some are just interested in investing. So book a one-on-one call with me and let's talk about you, and I promise I'll go over any topic that you want to talk about. That call will be zero pressure. It's only for you to find out if we would be a good fit. What I will be covering in this video is a little bit about what I offer for the agents in my downline as a sponsor in eXp Realty, what my sponsor offers, what her sponsor offers, pretty much our upline and what we offer. So that way you can get a feel for who would be in your upline should you choose to join our crew. And if you're interested in meeting anybody in my upline, just let me know when you book that call with the link below. They want to meet with you. I want to warn you on the importance of choosing the right eXp sponsor. You cannot just switch your eXp sponsor all willy-nilly. If you join an eXp family and you realize that you actually don't like your sponsor or you don't like the community, or even worse, they promise you something but couldn't deliver, you can't just make the switch from one day having this person as a sponsor and then the next day having another person. It doesn't work like that. With eXp, you actually have to leave the brokerage for 6 months and a day. So go to a different brokerage, then reapply to eXp, choosing that new person as a sponsor. And unfortunately, I cannot tell you how many agents every single week that I talk to that say that they regret choosing the sponsor that they did because they realize that our crew offers more. A lot of the agents that I'm talking to, they don't even have a fraction of what we offer for free for every single person in our downline. And a lot of those agents are asking me and my upline to help coach them and do a lot of one-on-ones with them. But unfortunately, the way that the eXp model works is we are financially incentivized to help those in our downline. Our downline takes precedence over everything. That's where we pour our heart and our soul into it. And because of that, a lot of agents actually do end up leaving the eXp family that they originally joined. They go to another brokerage for 6 months and a day, and they reapply, and they're coming back to join under us. So it is a possibility, but is it a hassle? Yes, absolutely. That's why I'm making this video so that way you can avoid making the wrong decision. Make the right decision the first time. Some sponsors don't even do anything for their agents, so make sure that you're choosing a sponsor that gives you resources that you need in order to scale your business. When you end up choosing a sponsor, make sure that you're choosing that sponsor to help you professionally, financially, for you and your family. A lot of times also, people will think that it's best if they choose a local sponsor, like someone geographically in their own city or town. But if you really think about it, if that sponsor is still doing business in that area, it might benefit that person to end up choosing someone else as a sponsor who won't actually compete for clients in that specific area. Today, I'm going to be covering the 7 things to look for to choose the best eXp sponsor for you. First, I want to make super clear that if you're to name me as your sponsor, all of my sponsors in the upline, that everything of what they give away for free is given to everyone in my downline also for free. And that's no matter what level you end up joining. If you end up joining under someone under my downline, you still get access to everything that all of my sponsors offer for free. And by the way, when I say sponsors, I mean my sponsor, her sponsor, his sponsor, all the way up. The benefit of naming me as your sponsor is that I have checklists and scripts and canned emails emails, everything ready to go for you. So that way you can just plug and play into your business and start scaling immediately. I stand by my checklist so much so that I guarantee that after you finish the 200-step onboarding process, you will close 10 transactions minimum within your first 12 months. My sponsor is Shelby Johnson. Her sponsor is Ruben Garcia. His sponsor is Micah Mruwat. You might not know who these people are, but I will be talking about them a little bit later in this video. So first off, I want to talk about community, but not for the reasons you might think. A lot of people end up choosing their sponsor, or even worse, a team where they then have to give up 50% of their commission because their team leader was cool, or the broker was really nice, or they have like a lot of in-person gatherings, or they do barbecues, stuff that doesn't really move the needle in someone's business. Alex Hormozy says this best, that it's not a coincidence that people will grow at the same rate of those that they surround themselves with. And with eXp, you're no longer geographically restricted. You no longer have to only look at teams or groups within your city or within your MLS. You can choose a group across the country or even in another country if you find that they would be most beneficial to you. If your goal is to do 40 transactions a year, then you need to surround yourself with others who are doing 40 transactions a year, not join a brokerage where the average agent is doing 10. You're not going to be able to scale to 40 transactions a year if the people around you are doing less than what your goal is. So as you're interviewing sponsors, ask them if they're still in the business, how many transactions are they personally doing? Otherwise, if they're not in the trenches anymore, then how are they actually going to mentor you? Unfortunately, eXp gets a bad rap for those agents that are only focused on recruiting for a living. And trust me, it pays well, but you want to make sure that your sponsor is still doing business. So that way, whenever you have questions, you can reach out to them and they can give you today's answer. So once that's checked off, what about the rest of the community? How do they do their trainings? Is it online? Is it in person? Do you have to drive an hour one way to get to the trainings and then an hour one way back? For example, we do all of our trainings all virtual since we're in 20 plus different states in 2 different countries. So for those that aren't able to learn from virtual trainings, then this isn't the group for you. Also in the community, what is their mindset like? What are your goals, and are people in that community already achieving them? If so, join them, because you want to surround yourself with people that are achieving your goals like it is the norm. Because any goal that you have, you need to surround yourself with the people who are already achieving them on the reg. That group will be helping you just by joining their circle. And when it comes to helping others, do they have an abundance mindset? There's nothing worse than joining a group of realtors who have that scarcity mindset and that don't share their secrets, and therefore the top producers, the ones that are holding all the secrets of the business and not sharing back and giving to others, because there is enough business to go around. That's actually why I started the Agent Goldmine podcast with my sponsor, Shelby Johnson, where we interview top producers in real estate all throughout the country to have them share their secrets and even provide stuff of value like checklists or scripts or anything that helps them be a top producer. Number 2 in choosing the right eXp sponsor for you is the mindset. Are you into investing, retiring early, the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early? Because we are. And it's not so much that we're trying to retire as soon as we can so that way we can just be a couch potato, but we want to retire so that way we have the option to do that. And frankly, a lot of us could retire already if we wanted to completely, but we choose not to because we love what we do. So now we can go to our clients and honestly say, we don't need your business, we just want it. I personally hit the financial independence mark a couple of months ago. My sponsor, Shelby Johnson, at one point had like 75 rental properties. You can catch her episode on Bigger Pockets if you want to learn more. Her sponsor, Ruben Garcia, also has a portfolio of rental properties, and he has a rental RV, which is pretty cool. His sponsor, Micah Mruwat, who lives out in Puerto Rico, she also has a portfolio of properties, and I think she does stocks as well. We're all investors. Everyone in the community is an investor, and therefore we've created a culture of joining other agents and combining with other agents that go-getter, that take initiative mindset, that want to always just do more and be more. So when choosing a sponsor, ask yourself, are they who I want to be? Have they achieved the goals that I want to achieve? Are they in a spot where I want to end up? Once you have asked yourself that, then ask yourself, how are they going to help me get there? Which leads me to point number 3. Training. eXp Realty already has 50 hours of training every single week, to include some weekends, but on top of that, we offer even more training. These trainings are Monday through Friday. So just for example, on Tuesdays, we have rotating trainings on each building block of the business. So the first Tuesday of the month, we talk about bedrock, like foundational stuff, like how to set up your LLC, how to structure your business, use your calendar, how to use your systems. The second Tuesday of the month is for marketing, and that is the most important because 85% of realtors leave the business after 2 years because they don't have enough clients. They didn't actually learn the art of lead generation. We also teach you how to brand yourself. And a quick note on branding is when you join our group, the only branding rule that applies is the one that eXp has. So you just have to have eXp's logo. Other than that, you can create your own logo which you can put side by side next to eXp, your own colors. It's your photo on all of your signs. It's your phone number on all the signs. It's not a team leader's phone number. It's not a broker's phone number or face. It's you. You are running your own business. We want you to be the CEO. The third Tuesday of the month is all about sales and how to talk to your clients, go over client expectations, take them from contract to close. The fourth Tuesday of the month is about finances, so talking about profit first, tax strategies, etc. That's how I was able to pay off one of my mortgages in 4 months. And that's just what we have available on Tuesdays. We have trainings every weekday. So for example, Micah Ruat has trainings on Fridays and Wednesdays on how to actually use the systems that you'll have available to you, like the CRM, the database. Ruben Garcia also has trainings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and I believe Thursdays. On Thursdays, we also have speakers come in and teach about various different topics. There is no shortage of trainings with our crew. And to make it as easy as possible for you, because I remember how overwhelming it was when I first joined, I created an onboarding checklist, like I mentioned before. It's 200 steps. It's a lot, but it takes you step by step in order of what you're supposed to be doing from start to finish, because I created that checklist as I was going along. I'm like, hey, at this point, I need to do this. At this point, I need to do that. And I put everything in order for you. And it's for free. That's how I was able to do 20 transactions my first year in the business while I was still learning what it was to even be a realtor. And I was still only part-time realtor because I was full-time working my W-2. I was still active duty Air Force. I was still traveling for the Air Force. Oh, and by the way, my sponsor was across the country. I'm currently in Tucson, Arizona. I was the first agent that joined the group that was all in North Carolina. My sponsor was in North Carolina. I interviewed 13 different brokerages, 13, because I wanted to make the right choice the first time, and I can guarantee no other group offers what we offer for free. And that's also how I was able to do 40 transactions my second year when I became a full-time agent, and how I made icon status with eXp. And in case you don't know what icon means, icon agents are those that cap the $16,000, plus then they do an extra 20 transactions they themselves, so therefore they can get that $16,000 back to them in the form of stock, essentially making this an 100% brokerage. And fun fact is only 3% of eXp agents actually end up making icon. So that's kind of cool that I made it my second year because of all the resources that I was given. And Shelby Johnson was also icon. We've all pretty much been icon in the upline, so it's a great community to join. But I know that I'm biased. When I first joined, I realized super early that cold calling was not for me. So I actually made my business, 92% of my business came from social media for free. It's super nice having leads come to you instead of you being the one out there chasing leads all day. All in all, it's just best to join a group of agents. Make sure that you choose a sponsor who not only talks the talk, but walks the walk. The fourth thing when looking for a sponsor is accountability groups. It's one thing that your sponsor is going to be there available to you, that your mentor is going to be there available to you, but you also need more than that. I realized that there is so much of a benefit when you join an accountability group. In case you don't know either, being a sponsor is different from being a mentor. A mentor is someone who went through the certified process within eXp to be a mentor. They're there to help you specifically with your geographical MLS paperwork, your rules and regulations for your specific market. However, what's missing a lot of times in this industry when people join whatever brokers they end up joining is that accountability group. And a lot of us used to be in a group called GoBundance. And in case you haven't heard of that, that's a group where you need a net worth of $1 million in order to apply to be in. And a lot of us were in it or still are in it. So we actually incorporated the accountability process and the group structure from GoBundance and applied it to our group. So every season, we have a new accountability group. It's all optional, depending on your strengths, your weaknesses, what topic you're looking to benefit from. your goals, and you're going to be specifically assigned a group of others that will help you achieve your goals and you'll help them achieve theirs. And mind you, these topics are not just about business building and finances. Life isn't all just about money. The topics also cover health, having a healthy family balance. So it's more than just money. That group that you're assigned, or that pod of what we call it, is going to be your ride or die group until the next couple of months before it's switched up to spice things up. We're all about being well-rounded agents, not just crushing it in business, but also crushing it in life, because there's nothing worse than being successful in your business, but then getting a divorce because you never saw your family. And if that's not enough communication for you, we actually have our own app, because we're growing so fast that yes, we have our own app now. So if you want to communicate even further, you can go into the threads and the chat and group and talk to anybody else within our community on that app. Number 5 is access to your sponsor. And this is so important. This is going to be different from what you find in other videos related to choosing the best sponsor for you. A lot of other sponsors are just so busy, they cannot possibly talk to every single person in their downline or be there to help them as often as that agent needs. We are. After I interviewed a ton of brokerages and I realized that eXp was the no-brainer choice, that I was going to go with eXp, and it was just a matter of choosing which sponsor was right for me and which family or upline was best for me. I made that decision pretty quickly because I realized as I was interviewing around, the other sponsors weren't always available. As I had questions about the brokerage that I wanted answered, I realized it was actually kind of hard to get them on a call, or if I sent them an Instagram message, it took them like a long time to message back. And it just wasn't what I needed at the time. I needed somebody that was able to answer me within 24 hours because I wanted to make a decision, right? Like I was ready to go. And if I wasn't going to get the answers from someone who wanted me in their downline, then what was it going to look like if I were to join their downline and I were to have an issue with something with a client or a transaction? So that's when I met with Shelby Johnson over Zoom, and I was like, yeah, this is it. She has the time for me. She's answering my questions, and I want to do the same thing for everybody in my downline. And I do. You can ask anybody in my downline. They will say that I will clear out my schedule to meet with them. I'm telling you, my downline takes priority. Whenever someone in my downline has a question, and if it's not just an easy question to respond back via text, they can always contact me via text or Instagram, whichever method is best for them. I respond within a couple of hours. I'm always available. But if for some reason their question is a little bit more complex and they want to book a call, then they know I give them my Calendly link. It's the same Calendly link below, but there's one section that you'll see labeled only for my downline. That one takes priority. If for some reason someone in my downline is about to book and they realize that there's no available times that works with their schedule, then I always tell them, let me know. I will clear something up because I want to be there for you. I'm financially incentivized to help you. Another thing to note here is my checklist also does a lot of the answers. A lot of the questions that new agents will have when joining our crew is answered in those checklists. That's actually why I created the checklist. So usually there aren't even a lot of questions until people are done with that checklist. And on top of that, I created something called the Real Estate Bible, which is like a 135-page Google Doc, which has everything of what I know about being in the real estate sales business. So that leads me to point number 6, which is coaching. By joining us, you get multiple free coaches. You get me, you get Shelby, who also opens up her Calendly link for everyone in her downline, Ruben, who does the same thing, Micah, who does the same thing. You get so many free coaches, it's unbelievable. That is how I made Icon my second year in the business. That's how Shelby Johnson made Icon, and she was also Rookie of the Year for Keller Williams back when she was with Keller Williams for North and South Carolina. That's how Ruben was able to be the CEO over Keller Williams. I know Shelby did over 550 transactions her first 4 years. Ruben, broker. Micah was also a broker owner as well before she switched over to eXp. Mike is actually a senior partner with eXp, so at this time there are about 90,000 agents with eXp. She was actually number 300. And if you're interested in agent attraction, then she is the one to talk to because that's what she specializes in. If you ever end up talking to a broker owner who is interested in switching their business and moving over to eXp, which is very common now, Micah is a great person, a great resource to have to do a combined Zoom call where Micah can explain the process of what that looks like to that broker owner. And with Ruben Garcia, he's actually partnered with a company called the Locker Room Nation. And that's a real estate coaching program that, because Ruben is partnered with them, everyone in his downline gets that for free. They get that for free after they talk to Ruben and they schedule that business one-on-one call with him and some other calls with him. Then at that point, Ruben will invite them to the locker room. And once you have access to the locker room, oh my gosh, it's hundreds and hundreds of trainings, video trainings, and workbooks where you can watch how to do a listing presentation, a buyer presentation, open houses from start to finish. Everything is there. And on top of that, they'll also be inviting you to Track Plus, which is a 12-week long program that they run about twice a year that, again, is completely free for us. It would be free for you. 12-week long program where you get another coach and you have weekly calls and you get assignments, you get homework. And if you don't do the homework, if you don't do the assignments, if you don't participate, if you don't show up, you will be kicked out and you will not be reinvited in, because at that point, you're taking the seat of someone else who could have benefited from it. So they take that seriously. Everyone in our community wants agents who actually will take their business seriously. So that way, when we pour into you, we know that you're actually going to take the steps that we're suggesting. Again, we just want you to succeed. And eXp also, by the way, has hired W-2 employees to help you in other stuff that we wouldn't be able to help you with. For example, you're given a website, you're given a phone number. If for some reason you're having IT issues, you can call 24 hours since eXp is worldwide. Somebody's going to be out there working in a different country in like New Zealand or whatever. So you can call them and say, hey, I'm having some issues with this. And you can get your website back up and running before the US even wakes up. If you're coming from a small boutique brokerage, usually that broker is the one wearing all of the hats. She or he is in charge of the W-2, the salary, the profit, the revenue, the transactions, the E&O insurance, HR. They're doing everything. Oh, and training, or at least delegating training for their agents to learn. It's a lot for them to do. With eXp, your broker is only a broker and that's it. That's the only hat that they're wearing. So that way, whenever you do have a question related to broker stuff, they are going to answer you within 30 minutes. You can either call them, email them, or jump in the eXp world and they will be answering your question. Usually some states have more than one broker. For example, Arizona has 3. So you're always going to get a response. Lastly, a good eXp sponsor will help you grow your downline if that's what you're interested in. Not everyone is interested in it, and that's totally cool. But this is why eXp doesn't pay for full-time W-2 salaried recruiters. Instead, they end up rewarding their agents for bringing on other producing agents. And I actually do something different and slightly unorthodox with the way that I do agent attraction. If an agent is showing that they are working their butts off, and if they're interested in agent attraction and growing their downline of leads that they find completely on their own, and if they don't have anybody else already in their downline, whenever someone decides to join our group, I actually connect them to that agent, and that agent will be their sponsor. Guess how that affects that new agent joining? It doesn't affect them at all. They still have access to everything I offer, everything Shelby offers, everything Ruben offers, everything. And on top of that, now they have access to what their sponsor offers. I can't talk about specifics of how much I make a revenue share. Nobody really can. But what we can say is that it can be really life-changing. So if that's what you're interested in, I am more than happy to do that. I've done that before. I'm doing it again. I want to help you. So when you're looking for an eXp sponsor, see if you can join their trainings. Do they have trainings available to the public where you can be a fly on the wall? That would be a great way for you to see what their culture is like. For example, if you join our Thursday trainings, which are open to the public, you'll see that we don't handhold. We give you all the resources, but it's completely up to you to do the work. If you like the way we do business, you can go ahead and apply below. Otherwise, if you want to do a one-on-one call, I'm more than happy to do that. Again, if you want to have that one-on-one call with someone in my upline, more than happy to have them on. I just want to make sure that you take seriously who you are going to choose as a sponsor. Check out my other videos too, where I talk about how we do business. I'm happy to set up a one-on-one 30 to 45 minute Zoom with you where it's all about you, your business, how to scale, if we would be a good fit, because trust me, we'll be the first one to tell you if we're not a good fit. I just don't want you to feel alone or isolated or feel stuck in your business. Some people feel alone and they're going into a brick and mortar every single day. That's crazy. So if you have any questions, I'm more than happy to talk to you. Again, I love doing this. We don't do this for the money. We do this because we want to.